I used to hear this saying growing up that perception is reality. And it would often be said when you were in a compromising situation, something you didn't like, and someone would come back and say, well, it's almost like, suck it up, buttercup. It's like, oh, well, perception is reality. That's the truth. And it used to really irk me. Like, it was such a transactional statement. But over time, I have embraced the statement and recognized just how much truth there is in the statement. Perception is reality. And in fact, your perception is right now creating the reality or the 3D you are currently living in. So if you perceive your world to be one of struggle, hardship, where, it's tough, it's really tough. It's tough to make money, it's tough to get by, it's tough because you're always ill, it's tough to have a great relationship in your life. If you perceive the world as one of hardship, then that is where your awareness is. And wherever your awareness is, that is what you are only seeing. In fact, we've been programmed to look for problems everywhere and be in the mode of being problem solvers. So we're constantly aware of things that are not right. We're constantly aware of what may go wrong, that is going wrong, that has gone wrong. So our awareness is always on the problem and not the solution. So we perceive, hey, and that includes me as well. I'm not just, dumping it on you. I used to be like that, where I would perceive my life as being one of struggle, real struggle and hardship, and that you had to work really hard to get by and make money. But after reading and embracing Neville Goddard's teachings on the power of awareness and understanding that I am the source, that I am God, that I am that I am, and that wherever I put my awareness, that is what I'm going to perceive and see. I made a decision that I was only going to start to look for the good in everything. Because think about it, God is good. And if we break down the word God, it's good, orderly direction. So if God is all about goodness, then what's getting in the way? The only thing getting in the way is my programming or conditioning that has been trained or programmed to look for the worst all the time. And so I made a decision to shift my awareness to only start to perceive things as good. Even if they were going really wrong, they actually were going really, really right. And I learned this experience, or this profound way of looking at life, after I had been in the process of moving from Las Vegas to here in Brisbane, Australia. So I've been here 5 weeks, but it wasn't an easy journey to get here. And the hardest part of the journey was sitting for 4 months in an Airbnb, waiting for the paperwork to be sorted out for the cats, Sydney and Serafina. And there were often days things would be going wrong, and I would perceive it as, oh, it's such a struggle. Oh, it's not going to work out. Oh my God, I'm going to be stuck in this Airbnb for a year. It's just taking so long. And then I started to shift my focus and started to tell myself, what if everything is actually going right? That actually what appears to be going wrong is part of the plan for me getting me and the cats to Australia. So the moment I started to shift my focus and perceive things as good, then more good started to manifest in my life, and it started to get better and better. And I then was less in the habit of the receivership of things going wrong, but more in the habit of the receivership of more good coming into my life. And I suddenly started to understand Neville Goddard's teaching, the power of awareness, the power of awareness. Where is your awareness? If you could shift your awareness from perceiving life as wrong and instead perceive it as good and right, then eventually your 3D or your outer reality will change and shift to only be that of good, because God is good. God is perfect. Everything is perfect. It's our perception that makes it look like it's not right. So, I've got some homework for you. After I've just done this spiel to you, and I often don't even remember what I've said to you, so I know it's a download that has come from God. I would love for you to take what I have just said and put it into a few notes, a few little points that of what you've just heard me say. Write it down immediately, because if you can summarize what I've just said, put it in the comments, and by summarizing it for yourself, what you're doing is you are reprogramming your mind with new information that changes your conscious awareness. It's going to change the way you think and shift your conditioning, programming, or as my late mentor, the late legendary Mr. Bob Proctor says, to shift your paradigm. So I'd love to see your comments, and I promise to answer them back. Thanks for tuning in, and thank you for, being good to yourself, to stop scrolling through all these YouTubes, but rather take this YouTube and apply some notes to it that's going to cement in this information and help you apply it to your daily life. See you soon. Bye for now.